Well, a very happy good morning to all of you. I'm so happy you're here. I hope you feel the same way. But it's okay if we don't feel happy. It's okay if we feel funky. It's okay because that's just a part of us that is just temporarily in these human suits, although that may mean many lifetimes, but it's still just temporary. And I think one of the secrets that we all share together when we come to this meditation is that we don't dwell on the impermanence of us. We dwell on the permanence of us, meaning the truth of us. And that's a game changer. That's a game changer right there. One of my very favorite quotes is a Sufi mystic by the name of Hafiz, and he said this is my very one of my very favorite quotes. He said, "If your love letters are true, dear God, I will surrender myself to who you keep saying I am." Mm. If your love letters are true, dear God, I will surrender. I'll surrender myself to who you keep saying I am. So I'll just ask you the question, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Right? If you looked in a mirror, you might see this face and form of you as the mortal. But if you could see, that it's a flawless mirror, it's not a flawed mirror. It's not going to show all of your human limitations. The mirror that we're talking about is a flawless mirror, and it will show that you are light, that you are a daughter, you are a son of God made in that perfect image of spirit. So that's why we can focus on that because it's the truth. And the truth will always set you free. And to some degree, the truth will always set you free to some degree. And that degree depends on whether you're focusing on the truth of you or you're forgetting. You're just forgetting, just temporarily in the blues, in the moody blues of being human, right? So I also have a quote that came up this morning that I would like to share with you before we dip into our silence and our meditation, which will be some thoughts from Yogananda this morning. But this I listened to maybe 5 to 10 times this morning. Just a simple little quote from this person I don't even know. And it was a voice. It was a video. And but this is what he said. I'm going to read this a couple times to you. He said, "The deeper I go in God, the deeper I go in God, the less choice I have. The freer I feel. The deeper I go in God, the less choice I have." Right? If your love letters are true, dear God, I will surrender to who you keep saying I am. And I am you, and you are all. The fewer choices we will have, and the freer we will feel. He said, the more ego that I was, the more choices I thought I had, but the more limited and depressed I was. So he said, what I have found through my experience is we surrender, when we surrender to God, when we surrender, that things may not go according to our plans. When we surrender, they may not go according to our plans, but often it will be beyond our plans. If we surrender, it will be beyond our plans. It will be God's plan, the divine plan. And when we surrender in this way, we will always, always, and this guy went on to say, and I promise you this, and I promise you this, we will always end up in the right place at the right time with the right people doing the right thing. Though that path that we are now taking may not be the one that we most expected to take, but we will be in the right place at the right time with the right people doing the right thing. So if you haven't already closed your eyes, my dears, look how simple the truth is. When we surrender, we may not get our particular what we're hoping for or what our desires are, but we'll get something better, and it will always put us in the right place at the right time with the right people doing the right thing, and we will find that we are happier than ever before. So let's just hold it, this image that you are looking into the flawless mirror right now, and you see the form, you see yourself, but also there's some magic going on, and you see that that form is turned into this beautiful light, that you're in your light body and you can't believe how beautiful you are and how untouched you are from things of this world. It's a whole nother dimension, the reality, my dears. It's totally not this drama trauma that we're in this soap opera of life. It's totally not that. People always try to gauge, what could be, surrender. If I really surrendered, what that would be like. They cannot even get close to gauging what it really is like until you completely just absorb yourself in that light image of yours and relax and breathe. Breathe as if you are that light being who doesn't breathe. Interesting. Who doesn't breathe, doesn't need to breathe, doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to do the things that we do here in a human form. It is all fulfilled. It is completely, we are completely fulfilled as who we really are. So why not let's have a great surrender in this meditation this morning. And the deeper you go, the less choices you have. And that is good news. There's only one choice, ultimately, and that is to choose the light. Choose who you already are. And we'll hear from Yogananda after we have a period of stillness and silence in complete surrender in the flawless mirror, in the light. You might even read one of your love letters that has been sitting in the end bend of your soul, one of God's love letters. They've stacked up. You might imagine reading one of those. So as you look into this magic, flawless mirror and intuitively discern one of those endless love letters that God is always sending into your heart on how beautiful you are, how special you are, how you have never sinned, how you don't even have any karma, because God doesn't have any karma. There's nothing like a love letter from God. And this is why we never, ever, my dears, want to focus on our limitations. Never get too down on one of our moods. We want to instead see that light side of ourselves, the light of us, the God light. So Yogananda said this: the best way, he says, the best way to remove your weaknesses is to not think about them. Right? The deeper you go and surrender, the less choices you have to get that mind wandering and to go after those playthings rather than the true experience. He said, if you do focus on your limitations, you will be overwhelmed. Overwhelmed, that's a big one. We all get overwhelmed. It's because we're not focused on who we are. So this is what he recommends. Bring the light in. Bring this beautiful you in. May it be your heart's desire. You, the divine light. You made in the perfect image of God. You without any flaws ever. No sins ever, no karma ever. You're immaculate. You're perfect as your true self. He said, bring the light in, and you will feel that the darkness never was. There can be no darkness if the light is on. You will feel, if you stay with this visualization and attunement with the divine light, that your light body is not this frumpy human that goes through lots of earth aches and troubles and disease and discomfort. You are pure light. And the darkness vanishes though it had never been. Look at how bright your world is right now. And the collective of us all focusing on the same thing together. It brings even more light. How filled with light we all are right now. And it's easy now to expand it. That those that live in the same home as you, that you have contact with every day, is that same light, that flawless light in the flawless mirror, the perfect reflection of God. And Yogananda goes on to say, and this is a profound statement, that when I read it for the first time, I never could forget it. He said, in that thought that you bring the light in and the darkness vanishes as though it had never been, he said, in that thought is one of the greatest inspirations of my life. The avatar, the master, the guru. One of the greatest inspirations of his life to bring in the light. And there's no more darkness. Feel that light. Feel that light in one of the darkest things that is going on in your human world. And watch that darkness disappear. Feel it disappear right now. Right now. He said, if light is admitted into a cave where darkness has existed for thousands of years, that darkness will vanish instantly. And you may not have had this particular darkness that I'm asking you all to cognize right now. You may not have had it for thousands of years, and then again, maybe you have, but you certainly have had it for many, many Earth years, or it wouldn't still be in your field. Can we visualize? Can we intuitively imagine that that has gone away instantly right now? Vanished as though it had never been? And he goes on to say, just as a light in a cave that is the darkness has existed for thousands of years will vanish instantly, he said, so will our faults and weaknesses vanish when we bring in the light of God. The darkness of ignorance can never enter, nevermore. My dear, see if you can just be free for the rest of our time in this meditation on the divine. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy who you really are. And be happy like you really woke up to the fact that you're not these limitations that you thought you were. They're all gone, they're vanished. Let's just do a little celebration within ourselves because I have a little more good news from Yogananda. But first, celebrate the vanishing of things that have haunted you down the corridors of your own mind thinking and feelings for so long. So he goes on to talk about how we need to deny our karma, meaning those things that keep occurring in your life over and over again. Past actions, echoing, ricocheting back into your life. The karma, he says, deny it. Deny your karma. When you realize yourself as a child of God, he says, what karma have you? What is this bad feeling I have? What is this knee-jerk reaction I keep doing? Well, the good news is that's not you. That's certainly not the light either. And he's just asking that we completely ignore it, deny it, having an existence in us. He says, you're a child of God. You have no karma because God has no karma. He said, every day, and here's our affirmation takeaway. He said, every day we should affirm, I am not a mortal being. Wow. When was the last time you said that in the magic mirror, the flawless mirror, seeing yourself as light? I am not a mortal being. I am not the body. So as you look into the regular mirror, you're seeing a hologram. You're not the body. That's a hologram. But I am a child of God. He said this quote, I am not a mortal being. I am not the body. I am a child of God. He said this is practicing the presence of God. I am not a mortal being. I am not the body. I am a child of God. This is practicing the presence of God. God is free from karma. You are made in his image. You are also free from karma. So, dears, we have so much to be grateful for this morning. So much darkness has vanished as though it had never been. And we're not this broken person. We're not what maybe even people say we are, because they're fixated on the limitations, not just their own, but in others as well. Let's be free of it all. Let's set the tone. Let's be the change. Let's show up as we really are made in this image of God, free from karma, free from our moods, free from those dark cycles and depressed periods of our life. Let's be free. So thank you, beloved God, pole star of our lives. We have made thee pole star of our lives. Though our sea is dark and our stars are gone, though our sea is dark and our stars are gone, still we see the path through thy mercy, O Lord. Still we see the path through thy mercy. And so it is, so shall it ever be. It always has, and so be it. Aho. Ooh. You know, I'm just speaking for myself here, but really think that Dr. Pepper thing that we had going on 10, 2, and 4, but whatever times it ended up for us, is a really smart idea. Is a really smart idea. Not to have a Dr. Pepper every 10, 2 and 4. Of course not. But to have a deep dive like this together. I'm just putting out there just a wild idea. Wild idea. I'm not proposing anything. I'm just putting out a wild idea. But for me, I get so much out of these streams, just personally. So much. Of course, maybe because I spend so much time kind of tuning in every morning. Maybe that has something to do with it. But anyway, I just get so much out. And I often think during the day, wow, I'd love to sit with my brothers and sisters in our little tribe and have another little meditation, just to get back whatever we might have lost during the heyday of the day, right? Daily life and all that can change things instantly really fast, right? Daily life. But I was just thinking, I think it turns like in the afternoon, I get the feeling like, wow, it's been a long day. And in the evenings, it's kind of interesting for me. But man, I just keep thinking. And so I go there. I go there in my imagination that we are all in this tribe, just imbibing these truths as they come to us, right? As they're delivered to us every day, every single day, these truths in a little different way, in a different nuance. And but I go back to then just feeling that we're all there. So you might have done the same or do the same. I'm just trying to explain that these things, these meditations are they're very special, very special, at least to me. So thank you for making it even more enjoyable by having some divine company join me on these meditations, right? Yeah, yeah, good company. You're the best company. You're the best company one can have. Soul friends, SFF, soul friends forever, right? Yeah, Lynn, just a steady. Kelly, everyone. Thank you, Kelly, for joining us today. Lori, of course. Cami, oh my God, Ellen, sweet Ellen, Debbie, Betsy, Autumn, yeah, Marty. I hope I didn't leave anyone out, but I haven't because you're in my heart. Yeah. All right. You all good? No karma. No karma. The light is always on. It's always on. I had a little song once that said, "Turn on your love light, baby. The darkness will there is no darkness. Turn on your love light, baby. The darkness will disappear. Have no fear, the light is here. So turn on your love light, baby." Right? Be brave, be calm, and have no qualms. The love light is always on. Be brave, be calm, and have no qualms, because the love light is always on. In the inner worlds, that's how the sound of two hands coming together in the inner worlds. There it is. All right. Have a good one, everybody. You're all smiling, so things must feel all right. All right, Maria, 2 and 8, 2 days in a row. That's awesome. All right, toodles with oodles of love. You ready? We love, we care, and we share. Mwah. See you soon. Very, very soon.